Hey guys, Andrew Esquivel here, back with another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the COZ 4-liter water distiller. Now, I got this distiller because I use a CPAP machine, and the CPAP machine requires that I use distilled water in the humidifier. So, instead of going out and buying 1 liter jug or 1 gallon jugs of distilled water at Walmart every few weeks, I would rather just have the ability to make it here at home. So what I've done is I've had this machine running for a while now, and I'm going to compare the water that comes out of that to water that goes through a Brita filter, and then water that comes from the tap directly. And what I have is a TDS meter, so total dissolved solid meter. It's an HM Digital TDS3. That's the model. So it's pretty good. It accounts for temperature changes and everything. So it's pretty spot on. And I've had this running for several hours now. It takes about 4 or 5 hours or so to fill up that entire little jug there. And first thing to note, when you first get it, the first round of distilled water, it says not to use because it's doing a self-cleaning process. This test is of the first round of water, so I would assume that it may actually get better. One thing to note about having a home distiller is it's going to leave deposits, a residue behind in the stainless steel chamber. And don't worry, we're going to disassemble this in just a minute, and I'll show you all the ins and outs. But it comes with special cleaner to clean the distiller to make sure that the water remains nice and pure. So here we have 3 cups labeled tap, filtered through a Brita filter, and distilled. This is coming directly from right here. Now, on my meter, these are the readings that I got. Straight tap is 880 parts per million. Filtered was 830, and distilled was 30. Now, obviously that's just sticky notes. I want to show it to you live. And yes, I understand that this involves cross-contamination and such, but it'll still give you a good idea of what we're dealing with here. So we have the TDS meter. We'll go ahead and turn it on. And you'll see that the meter right now, since it's not in anything, reads at 0. So if we go to the tap, place it in there, and we generally place it in for about 10 seconds or so, and then we hit the hold button. But as you can see, the number is jumping up pretty high, and it's probably not going to be exactly what I wrote down before, but it's pretty close. We're going to round this up and call it 860 parts per million. So 860 on the tap water. We're going to go over here to the filtered water. Filtered water is reading out everything here. The numbers going up. And yes, it does take a little time to read accurately here. So you'll have to be patient with me. And we're reading about 813, 814, let's just say about 815. So, and then let's go over to the distilled water. Distilled, you'll see it's 30, 32, 31, 30, so yeah, about 30 parts per million, which is really good. Let's hold. Let's turn this off. So, yes, okay, that was quick, and you should definitely, when you're doing a scientific test like this, you should clean that off as best you can in what you know to be distilled water before each test. I understand that, but this is a good way to drive home the point here. Regardless of cross-contamination between the water, it's very clear that the tap water has the highest, filtered is just below it, the Brita filter doesn't do too much, and the distilled water was an insane difference. We went from in the mid to high 800s down to about 30, and we've confirmed it on a well-known model of a TDS meter from HM Digital. Sorry about the lack of focus here. So, all in all, what I'm getting at here is the distiller here does work. It really is making the water as pure as it can be. Now, we're going to break down the distiller in just a moment after it's done doing what it's doing here. And from there, we can see the different parts. But out here externally, I can show you a few things. As you can see, the unit's pretty large, and there's multiple cables that connect to everything here. Okay, so now that the water distiller is done distilling the amount of water that is designed to hold, this is how much we got, and it's relatively spot on. I may have put just a tad too much, because as you can see, it's a little bit of overflow, so I'm going to want to wipe that up. But it also comes with a cap to screw on so that you can keep this bottle separate and use it how you wish instead of having to transfer it. Now, we have the machine itself. It's important, according to the instructions, to make sure that the machine sufficiently cools down after every use, lest you overheat the device. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see I was out of focus there for a second. I'm going to undo all these plugs here for safety reasons. Okay, so this is really more of a two-handed job because this has a seal, so give me just a second here. And with the top off here, we can kind of move this accordingly. See, it's got a fan on top. It's got like a heat sink goes all around it. Got where kind of like a guiding system to guide the steam that gets produced. This is like a rubbery gasket. In here is the stainless steel container where you would put the water, and as you can see, there are a bunch of deposits left over because the water itself has mineral deposits, and that's what we're trying to remove to get distilled water. Now, that's pretty much the internals here. There is a line that does say full, so when you're filling it up, you don't want to fill it up past that line. We have a reset button, and the top right here is just the second piece that gets connected together, and you just fill it up to the line, put it on top, put the little bin right next to where it needs to go, and you're good to go. And that's really all there is to this product. It works very well. This is my first time using it. Now, I don't know how long it'll work. I mean, longevity-wise, the reliability of it. But, this is something I'm going to be using every few days for my CPAP machine, so it'll see some good use, but have plenty of time to cool down after each use. So, as long as you're not using it, over and over and over again multiple times a day, I would imagine it would work just fine. But if that changes, I'll let you know. But anywho, thanks for watching, guys. If you're viewing on Amazon, please give me a like, as it definitely helps me out. Add to the discussion down below if you have any questions or comments. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give me a like. Don't forget to comment, show your friends, check out my other videos. I got plenty of them. And as always, thanks for watching.